Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Cassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be doing a reading for Taurus for the sign of month of January. This is going to be for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising signs, as well as the cross watcher of the Taurus. Clear. And so we're just taking a peek in, seeing what January has in store for Taurus. This is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everybody. Take what fits and leave the rest. I encourage you to check out your other sign placements as well. And if you don't know what those are, you can go to a website such as Astro.com, plug in your birth information, and a chart will be generated for you. All right, Taurus, January 2021. What is going on for my Taurians, my fellow Taurians? Let's see. Oh, too many cards. All right. Okay, these wanted to come out, so we'll take these. All right, we have Star Keeper coming out, and we are using the Starseed Oracle, by the way. Cosmic Ancestors, seed the light by staying grounded. And so this is a goal of Taurus energy, right? Taurus energy is the most physical of all of the zodiac signs, very much about being rooted and grounded in the body, in the physical senses. And so we're really being called to step in and embrace that aspect of our energy right now. We are cosmic beings, right? We are multidimensional beings, and those who find this channel are most definitely very in touch with that, very in touch with the fact that they are starseeds and light workers and all of these such things, right? And so we come from the cosmos. We're really getting connected with our cosmic identity. And sometimes we forget that part of our purpose is to be rooted and to be grounded here. And I feel as though for Tauruses especially, like Taurian starseeds and light workers, we were specifically and especially put here to ground in that light. Being that we have such a connection to the earth, that we are so physically centered and dominated, we really are incredibly powerful vessels for that light. And so it's imperative that we stay centered and we stay grounded so that we can be the vessels for that light. We can ground in that light and we can be present in this physical incarnation. Then we have the 7 star sisters coming out, birthing creations, tapestry of life, expression. And so we're really being called, Taurus is being called to create right now, to really look at what it is that we are creating, what it is that we are weaving in this physical reality, right? It says tapestry of life. And so this is very much of looking at the grander scheme of our lives. What is it that I'm building? What is it? How am I expressing myself? Through this incarnation, through this body, through this physical vessel. How am I, and what is it that I'm really wanting? What do I desire out of life? I feel like that's the thing that Taurus is really being asked to understand right now, is what do I desire out of life? What is it that I'm wanting to create, and how can I create that, right? How can I best express myself in this body, in this incarnation, on this earth, on this planet right now? All right, let's see what other energies we have coming out here. So Taurus getting ready to start some new projects, to create something new. For some people, this could be actually literally birthing like a child or something like that, but it could very well be a creative project. It could be whatever it is that you're wanting to breathe life into right now. You could be your own creative project that you're working on right now. Really breathing life back into yourself. Working on the expression of yourself. And it's funny because this was on the bottom of the deck and it popped out again when I shuffled it back in. So that energy wanted to come up. And this is the Great Severing. And so this is conflict, anger, frustration. And so we can see this, right? Taurus can sometimes get caught up in this energy. Taurus is not always, and of course this always depends on whatever else you have in your chart. But we tend to be a sign depending, our Mars placement can shift this. But a sign that is a little bit slower to anger. But when the Taurus is angry, like watch out, okay? And so there's a lot of frustration bubbling to the surface. There may be situations that are causing conflict that we have to navigate through. And so in those situations, we're being called to really soften ourselves, to really come back to love, to bring it back to love. Any challenging situations or circumstances in our lives are just calling us to step more deeply into love. Like, that's where the solution lies, is in really opening our hearts up. And so anything that is sort of being removed right now, or anything, anywhere where we feel like we're needing to cut something off, we're being cut off, there's a reason for it. It's to teach us how to look deeper into our hearts and deeper into that sense of compassion and empathy. So any of that conflict right now, it really is being our teacher. Anywhere where things are not going quite the way that we wish they would, that is teaching us something. So it's all about understanding and being open to what it's wanting to teach us. And here we go, as we're talking about what does it want to teach us. We have loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction. Let God in. And then we also have you've got the love, and this is about codependency and boundaries. And so this is part of what we're learning with this great severing, with this conflict. Wherever we're experiencing conflict, wherever it feels as though things are being removed or sort of taken out of our scope, our reality, it's because we are needing to learn how to work through what are these old coping mechanisms? When this conflict comes up, how do I instinctively want to cope with that? Do I fall back into old patterns? Are some of those old patterns the reason that this conflict is coming up in the first place? And how can I heal that? How can I allow, and it says let God in, right? So it's like, how can I allow my higher spiritual self to come in and heal this energy for me and teach me how to loosen my grip on whatever this is. This is like that devil kind of energy, right? So it's like, it's like it says in this card next to it, codependency, right? It can be substances, sex, anything that we are addicted to, right? And so it's really like our fingers are being pried off of whatever it is that we've been holding on to. Whatever that last thing is that Taurus has been holding on to, that is not healthy and for its highest good, is being severed. It's being pried away right now. And so what that's doing is that's leaving Taurus with Taurus, right? And so that's where this codependency and these boundaries come in. It's like we are not able to be dependent on anyone except ourselves in this moment. This is really like a coming home to the self kind of moment, a really like digging deep into me. What's going on with me? I can't project this onto anybody else because there's nobody else here, right? This conflict may have driven those other people away. It may have caused a separation, right? And so now it's just like me sitting with me, looking at my own density, releasing all of this lower vibrational, these habits, these belief systems, right? These energies, this desire to fill, right? It's like there is this, like the void. What am I filling that void with? And so Taurus is being asked to give up all the things that they were using to fill that void, right? That we were using, so that we're left just to sit with that void and to see how it feels. And then what do? We bring love into that void. That's what that void really wants, is love. And it doesn't want the love of another person. It wants the love of the self, right? It wants that higher spiritual love. And so that's what we bring in. That's what we're being asked to do right now. And this is it, right? The creation. You are the creation right now, Taurus. You are recreating yourself, and you are removing all of these energies that do not serve you. So that's really beautiful. Yeah. And then we have another card about birth here. We the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. And so this is like, as Taurus is reborn, right? As we reshape ourselves into the identity that we want to be, as we release all of these, we like see how they're just free falling, right? That's the kind of energy. It's like Taurus is free falling right now. And we're not really sure if there's a net down below to catch us. We have to trust that there is, but we have to trust in the descent. We have to let go. We have to give in. We have to stop holding on. We have to loosen our grip of anything that was that was feeding us a false sense of security, right? And then we have to tumble headfirst into that void and really feel what's in there. And then we have to bring and call in that love. We have to be our own mothers. We have to nurture ourselves. This is like the darkness of the womb, right? We fall, and that's the funny part, is we feel like we're falling into the abyss. But when we get there, when we land, we find out we're actually in the womb. And so we allow ourselves to be cared for in that womb. Allow that beautiful energy of the sacred mother to comfort us, to hold us, to heal us, to bring love, to soften us with love, to bring that mother's milk to us, to nourish us, to revitalize us. And then we get to be born anew into the world. And that birth, that is our portal into 2021, into the next phase of our reality and our journey. So that is really powerful and really perfect, I think. I really like that. Any final cards coming out for this? I'm sorry. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. And so there's this energy coming through too. So this is the energy where Taurus is being asked to face, to really own up to our shortcomings. Where is it that I have sort of misstepped? Where is it that I can, the uprooting is coming through. So first it's like uprooting. This is when we talk about the belief systems. When we talk about, and it's really interesting. I've never noticed this before. You can see down here the faces. It's like there are people, faces looking at each other, and they're made up of all these tree roots. So like this is like going deep into the past. This is going really into our, like this is under the ground, right? Under the earth. So this is like our genetic. This is a lot of programming stuff too. Like pulling things up at the root. Where do these density, these coping mechanisms, these density addiction behaviors, right? This codependency, this lack of boundaries, any of these energies, where did those begin? Where did those start, right? Where is any of the dysfunction, any of this Mars energy, this conflict energy? What is feeding that? Where did that start? Where did that grow from? And really reaching in at the root and pulling that out, uprooting that energy, uprooting those belief systems, uprooting those fears, right? So that they're not running us anymore. And then when we do this, it's really coming back around and owning up to where we were wrong. That's a big part of this, is it's not, and it's this understanding of not, Taurus is getting to the point where we don't need to prove that we're right anymore, right? We're okay with being wrong. We're okay with admitting where we messed up and coming around to right that behavior. That's a lot of what this I'm sorry energy is. It's like once we understand these things, once we've nourished ourselves with that mother's milk, right? We come back out, we uproot what needs to be uprooted. We plant the new seeds that we want to plant. That's that birthing creations. And then we come back around and we make amends where they're necessary. We say I'm sorry where it's necessary. We make up for our behavior by behaving in a new way. Right? That's what righting past wrongs mean. Righting past wrongs, that's the energy of amends. That's not just saying I'm sorry. That's living I'm sorry by doing something different. And then we have star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission activation. And so this is a lot of what's been going on, Taurus, right? This is what's preceded a lot of this, is the fact that we have been receiving transmissions and activations. And in order for those activations to come online, a lot of this older dense energy needs to be purged and released. And so that's the process that Taurus is in right now, is the purging and releasing of that density, of that energy, so that we can upgrade to our next level, so that these activations can come online, these transmissions can come through. We can reinforce that grid, right? Crystal grid, it says. We are Taurus, as we talked about in the beginning of the reading, being so earth-centered, so imperative when it comes to transmitting that energy, being the receivers, the grounders for that energy. And so all of that is coming online. We are really waking up in a spiritual sense. And so as a result of that, this is the process, right? This is the release of density. This is how we up our vibration. It's not always a pretty process, but it is absolutely profound. And just look at all the beautiful stars in these pictures, right? It's just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And you can see their heart centers are lit up, right? So this is like, this is deep connection I'm feeling. I'm feeling like there are situations with people that we are deeply connected to, where we're wanting to come back around and admit our part in those and do something better, make something better, be something better, is really what I'm feeling. I'm feeling a lot of ancestral healing, a lot of karmic healing, just a lot of deep soul healing that's going on in these situations right now. It's like situations that finally brought us to our knees, right? And so part of what triggered all of this was these activations that we were receiving, right? And also some of these situations with these people in our lives that we hurt very deeply. And we had to really look at that. And that sort of threw us into this this internal process of healing and of analysis. So a lot going on here, you guys, really a lot. And then we have Earth pulsing, pulse of the mother, slow down, time in nature. And this is really good for Taurus, right? We being an earth sign, being the most sensual and physically centered of all the earth signs, Taurus resonates very strongly with nature. So if you are feeling really off kilter, right, as you are taking this time to heal, to really uproot, to look at the deep roots of these wounds and to heal this stuff, to heal all of these issues of addictions and codependency and all of this different stuff, right? Connect with the earth. Connect with the earth and connect with the stars, right? This says star bathing. So really connect with the sky, connect with the earth, right? Above and below. Bring in the energy from both. Really allow that energy to heal you, right? This is not a period of pushing forward. This is a period of really allowing ourselves that time to go through that internal process, to go through that transformation process, to go through that purging process, right? Releasing of density is a purging. And to take some time when you can to be connected with nature in any way that you can, to be connected with the stars, to really just breathe into everything that's happening right now and allow it to unfold at the pace that it's needing to unfold for you. And then we have called soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. So this is what this is leading towards, right? Is us coming deeper into our soul gifts, right? This is training. What we're going through right now is training. Everything is training, right? But we are receiving so much. It's like you can see her getting ready to walk through that doorway. And so we can't walk through that doorway until we release everything that holds us down, everything that keeps us stuck, right? And so it's like we're getting out of the stuck. But sometimes when we're getting out of being stuck, it's a slow process and it feels almost like we're still stuck. But just understand that you are not. You are making progress, so much more progress than you could possibly even understand. And it's all going to lead you more towards your purpose, right? And when it's time to step up, you'll know. You follow your intuition, follow your gut. It will tell you when it's time for you to step up. And then we have weight of the world on the bottom of the deck. Boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. So more of this boundaries energy, more of this not taking on anybody else's stuff, really. Once we can, I don't know why I said really like that. Once we can not take on anybody else's stuff, then we know what our stuff is. And once we know what our stuff is, we can work on our stuff. And so that's really important. That's like not holding the whole weight of the world on our shoulders and feeling like we're responsible for everything. Really understanding what it is that we are responsible for. And right now, the only thing that Taurus is responsible for is Taurus's own healing process. And then there's going to be a time to suit up and show up, to say the things that need to be said, to make the amends that need to be made, right? And then to step up into the next phase of our destiny. But like right now in these earlier stages, it's all about just allowing this healing process for us. Any last cards before we pull? I think I'm going to close with an Isis Oracle. Okay. We the Hathor is coming back out. The mother's milk. I never actually put it on the table. It wants to be on the table. And then Hiereth, longing for home, homesick for the stars. And so there may be some feeling of homesickness here as well. There may be some feeling of, it's almost like this process is getting so intense that Taurus almost wants to, it's sort of like the energy of, can I go home now? I don't want to do this anymore. This is getting too real. This is getting too hard, right? This is involving more effort than I want to put in right now. Because Taurus, I mean, when we have our sights on something, we are very much focused, right? We will go and we will go and we will go until we get it. However, we also like that leisure time. We like that relaxation. We don't necessarily, sometimes we don't move until we're pushed, unless there is enough of a desire for the thing to really get us moving. And so it's sort of like we're in this point, I think some of us where we're like, I don't know, I kind of just want to go home right now. Like, I'm tired of being here. Like, I understand that I came down here to do this work, but this work feels like a lot of work right now. And I don't want to do it. And so it's like realizing, and this brings us back to the energy from the beginning of the reading. We are here right now. We chose to come here right now. We came here to do this. And so all we can do is just buckle up and get it done, right? And try to enjoy the process along the way, because there is so much to enjoy about this life if we allow ourselves that enjoyment, if we allow ourselves to see. And so it's really like bringing in gratitude is going to be really helpful for Taurus. Bringing in gratitude, being thankful for this process, for being here, for being human and having these emotions and having this experience that we couldn't have any other place else. And I'm going to actually read, if I can find it, the We the Hathors, because this is just the way it keeps popping up. I feel like there's something here that wants to be read. Here we go. And so it says, birth is a portal that ushers in new life. The Hathors are here to remind you that you're a child of the cosmic mother, and you're being called to be held by her deep, never-ending love and embrace. This is a tender, nourishing card reminding you to receive the deep, deep love of the mother's embrace. The Hathors knew the journey on earth can be rocky and lonely at times, but you're being reminded to rest more deeply in the mother's arms. This is a card of extreme potency, of femininity, of creation, and of birth. You're being called to mother yourself and others too, to surrender to your sacred femininity, to hold and surrender to your own creations, to hold and be held. You're being called to remember your place in the web of life and to realize that the cosmic mother is watching you every step of the way. You may be going through a transition right now, moving from one way of being to another. If so, you're being reminded that you're cradled in a sacred container, that you're more held than you can possibly imagine, and you have access to more love than your heart can bear. If you're struggling in any way, you're being reassured that things will work out. Open yourself to receiving the overflowing love of the cosmic mother, flooding towards you from every direction. Let it stretch your heart. Yeah, so that's perfect. It's really this deeper awakening to love, this deeper activating of the heart, of the feminine side of the nature. And so really just allowing that healing in, allowing the cosmic mother to hold you and shelter you and cradle you as you go through this process, and to feed you and sustain you. That's really beautiful. This is super, super intense. If you guys need any assistance, please reach out to me. I do personal readings. I also do really powerful energy healings. I work with a modality called Belvaspata, Angelic healing of the heart. It's also known as the healing modality of miracles. It can really, the changes and the shifts that I've seen it help assist people through are just incredible. So please reach out to me. My email is in the description box below. I'm right here with you guys going through this journey. It's a rocky one, but we can absolutely handle this, right? We're ready for it. This is the process that steps us up to the next level of our journey. And I guarantee that next level is going to be incredible. And so really just allow yourselves to go through it, move through it, feel it, embrace it. Drop into that void, and then feel that void transform into that womb, and allow yourself to be held and sheltered and nourished in that womb as these aspects of ourselves come up to the surface for us to release and heal. All right. This is the work right here. This is the stuff. So the fact that this is coming up in your reading, Taurus, means that you are really at a turning point. So do not turn around now. Keep going, keep moving. Put that persistence and that stubbornness to good use and really move through this energy. Allow this process to unfold, because there is pure magic on the other side of you. This process in and of itself is pure magic, right? It just may not always feel that way when we're in it. If you like this video, drop a comment. Let me know how this resonated. There are also links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. I love you all so very, very much. Have an incredible January. You got this.